All right. Hey, Seth.
Hey, Allie.
So we have another great guest today, Joshua Bristol. He also goes by Josh. He is running for Congress in New York's ninth district. He is on the ballot, which is a really difficult thing to do in New York City. And he just
Absolutely.
had some good news right before we came on to record this. So let's bring in our guest, Josh Bristol. Hey, Josh.
Hello.
So, right before we sat down to record, I was scrolling on Instagram waiting for our meeting time, and I saw that you were endorsed by the Progressive Voters Network. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Yeah, it was a huge shock to me as well. I've been going for a billion different endorsements and
Yeah,
trying to get the name out there. Um,
Awesome.
it's fabulous.
yeah, I'm
And
so
you were a
happy.
delegate were you a delegate for Bernie at one point too?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was in Colorado. They have a caucus system there, and
Uh,
I was an elected delegate for the regional in the regional race there in Colorado.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so I
How
spoke
cool is
and
that?
gave a speech and everything.
That's so cool. And congratulations on the endorsement. I hope that's one of many, many more to come. So, I like to start at the beginning, Josh. I like our audience and myself and Seth to get a chance to get to know everybody we sit down with. I think your website is amazing. You are share really openly share about kind of growing up in a single family home. You face some pretty significant medical issues that have continued on, right? They have affected your life to this day.
Yeah.
Um, and I think a lot of Americans can relate to that. If not personally, someone in their family, someone that they're close friends with. We all go through medical issues at some point in our lives, unless you're really, really lucky. Some are more severe than others. But if you are, once you get into a situation like that, if you're not in a privileged position, it can be really catastrophic. Um, you know, medical bankruptcy is like the number one cause of bankruptcy in the country. So, can you talk about, and I know you were very young when you started going through some of these challenges, but can you talk about how you and your mom sort of navigated all of that? And did it inform sort of your worldview of the healthcare system in America?
Yeah, definitely. My mother, she she's been like she's kind of like very like spiritually minded.
Hmm.
I'm not necessarily, but she is. So she didn't necessarily like take the very first word that all the doctors said, because the doctors like they found out that I had a brain tumor at a very young age, and they wanted me to go down. Like I lived in rural New Mexico, and they
Hmm.
wanted us to go down to like the local hospital and like have it removed immediately. And she was like, "Well, let's consult with like she wanted a second opinion and a third opinion." And this was way
Hmm.
back before the internet or like AI or anything else. So there was like it was really hard to get resources too
Yeah.
on all of this kind of stuff. So she took some time to do a lot of research. She also tried a whole bunch of like spiritual and healing medicines on me or spiritual therapies
Hmm.
to see if there was any other way that stuff could happen with that. But I had already gone blind in one eye because of the brain tumor that was in there.
Hmm.
It's actually like a pituitary tumor. Um,
Okay. I'm very familiar with that in my own family. Yes.
oh, yeah. It's a very common, I
Yep,
mean, not very common, but it's a common enough
it is.
pituitary tumor that can occur in childhood and even adolescence. It can happen,
Yep.
um, but mine was congenital. Um, so yeah, we went through many different trials and tribulations relating to like she actually at one point got sued by the state of New Mexico for not getting me care immediately, and she
Wow.
won the suit. And then she did a bunch of research of like who it was that um, knew how to like operate on these kind of tumors,
Mm-hmm.
because the spiritual avenues weren't working.
And
And
can I ask a quick follow-up, Josh, because
yeah,
that's an unusual story. How has that had any impact on your relationship with your mom? Um,
mm.
how did that play out with your relationship with your mom? Because that's a big
Yeah,
decision to
yeah.
make on your child's behalf that could have potentially been harmful, right?
Yeah, for sure. I have a very long memory, so I still remember a lot of this stuff.
Okay.
So I don't have any, you know, as much as I am on the side of Western medicine 90% of the time because I am very strongly in favor of science and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
an atheist. I don't begrudge any of those experiences because they were helpful. I mean,
Yeah.
made me feel less anxiety,
Okay.
and it's just like we're gonna throw everything at this, you know.
I mean, that's a great attitude to have, honestly. It's a really, really generous, gracious attitude to have.
Yeah. So, and when something didn't work, then we moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And then she found through her research the best, as far as like she can understand, like the person with the highest success rate. And they were actually in New York City. So we flew out to New York City when I was 4 years old to I can't remember the exact name of the hospital. It was
Mm-hmm.
a big hospital in Manhattan. It's still there, although the name has changed. Um, but that the guy that was there operated on it, and it was a completely successful operation.
Wonderful.
Man,
So
like I just can't imagine how scary that would be as a parent.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like where like you don't have the internet. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have something to research, really. I mean, like that must I mean, that's an incredible thing for her to be able to research and to find all these things without the help of the internet.
Right.
And that's not a shock to like I guess people 40, 50 years ago, but people nowadays, people wouldn't
yeah,
know what to do. They wouldn't know where to start. So I mean, just I'm glad that you still have that relationship with your mom because
Me
like
too.
that's got to be super tough. And I mean, I would be worried that my child would not be able to survive a surgery like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
yeah,
I can kind of sit there and relate to like, okay, I trust Western medicine, but like I don't want to I don't want to lose my child.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's
It's
really
terrifying as
incredible.
a parent, terrifying
Yeah.
prospect.
And as a result, obviously you've had to live with your disabilities, but a lot of people like to say that their disabilities are their superpowers, things that regular people don't have. That
yeah.
that you get kind of a leg up on. What do you feel like is your superpower, and how your disabilities have led you to seek this leadership role?
Well, people often say that I somehow found the fountain of youth because I look very young for my
You do
age.
look very
Yeah, how
young.
old are you?
I'm 42.
No way,
Josh,
Yeah,
stop.
no, for
buddy.
real.
Buddy,
Uh,
I wouldn't have guessed 24.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
Let
thank you,
alone
sir.
42. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's something that fuels my passion for politics is like from the very beginning, like when I was very young, like I learned that the age where you can become president. And
Yes.
like then I was like, it's like 35. I'm like, I could already be president right now. like, like
Yeah.
all of this stuff, that's happening. It's all preventable. But of course, it's nothing is relying on only one person, obviously. But still, it's like just something I've always had in the back of my mind. And
Hmm.
with things just getting worse and worse over time, um, it's like at some point you can't just play do your hobbies forever. You have to like just step out and be like, well, enough is enough.
Hmm.
And I have that energy and that vigor as somebody who looks younger to come out and like be a working class champion, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Love that.
You know
So cool.
And you've done a lot of organizing, right? You're very deeply involved in your community and do community outreach with immigrant communities and socialist organizers, democratic socialist organizers. So are there any stories that have come out in that activism that have stuck with you? Like, can you think of a situation or a story that someone told you that kind of really maybe pushed you a little bit closer to wanting to run for office?
Mm. Well, I mean, one of my favorite stories, I don't know if it ties into wanting to run for office, but one of my favorite stories um, was when I was working for a food bank or like a mutual aid group
Hmm.
here in Crown Heights. It's Crown Heights Mutual Aid Network.
Yeah.
And I was just going over there to volunteer to, they have food that they give, and they have like clothing and stuff. And I just went there for my very first time only, um, passing out food to people. And there was like a long line. So I was introducing myself to people in the line, to let them know about all the stuff that was on offer. And one of the people that was there, um, she could tell that I was very cold because I was wearing like only a very thin jacket, and it was in
Mhm.
the middle of winter. And also, like, as part of my disease, I had like a hypersensitivity to cold,
Okay.
which a lot of people don't know. But yeah, so I was out there in the frigid winter talking to people about, mutual aid.
Hmm.
And this lady, she was like, well, let me give you a jacket, because I have this jacket that I haven't used for a long time. And and like, and I was like, wow, like, I'm here to give people food, not take stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's like a powerful thing. It's like mutual aid.
Yeah.
um it's not
That's what
just,
it's all about, right?
yeah, yeah,
If somebody needs something and you have it, you give it, and
right,
vice versa. And, that's such a beautiful story. And people don't, I think people have this, I've said this before, this misconception about New York City, and hearing stories about like that, right? Where mutual aid is happening and people are just looking out for one another. I think that's part of what makes New York so special.
yeah. And this jacket, it was the most amazing thing ever. Super thick and puffy, and at the end of the day, I was wearing two jackets, and I felt like I was in just like a cloud of heavenly warmth.
That's amazing. I love
That's so
that.
cool, man. Well,
But yeah,
I
that is
want,
inspiring too, though.
yeah,
Very, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Just like, I mean, somebody who was coming for aid and was still willing to give up what they had,
yeah,
Hmm.
and like, I mean, that's just that's incredibly selfless. So I can understand why that would stick in your memory. That's really cool. One thing that's happening right now, and arguably one of the biggest stories in politics right now, is that Thomas Massey, who is a big probably the biggest proponent of exposing the Epstein files, among other things, was unseated in his primary,
yeah,
in Kentucky. And so Thomas Massey was unseated in his primary, where the vote doubled magically, and they spent something like 20 to 25 million dollars, whether it was billionaires, MAGA supporters, or around $9 million from APAC
yeah,
to unseat him. And and this is one of the biggest things going on right now, and so that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, because obviously you're a proponent of not being supported by PACs or APAC or any foreign entity. So obviously this is like a glaring problem right now in our country, and I just want you to talk about that as somebody who's very anti corporation, anti super PAC, kind of putting this much, I mean, so much influence in our elections.
yeah. Well, Trump, as I always like to say, Trump is like a symptom of the last gasp of the conservative white man, but it's
Hmm.
become much more powerful than we think. They're still they're still gasping, and it's causing a lot of harm. Massey obviously you could probably say he's a patriot, even though I can't rubber stamp everything that he's done as a
Of
Right.
course,
He's a confusing guy.
he's
yeah.
very confusing.
But no, it's just goes to show that like we really don't have control over our politics, and they're just they're running away. The billionaires are running away with the system that we have, and that's why it's going to take people like every one of us to get out. Another thing that's interesting that's happened right now is the Texas situation, the
Yeah.
Texas Senate race. There was a guy over there that was like not endorsed by Trump, and then the person that was endorsed by Trump, Ken Paxton, won.
Yep.
So all over the place, we're seeing that Trump still has this sense of clout. MAGA is not fully dead yet, but that's why it's more important than ever that that we come out and challenge these guys,
Yeah.
because they're really turning the country into a hellscape
Yeah.
for so many people.
I mean, I can't agree more with that statement. So I want to tie in and piggyback on Seth's question because you are fully grassroots candidate and you are on the ballot in New York, which is a very difficult thing to achieve. So tell me, how did you even make that? How did you make that happen? How long have you been out there campaigning? I know, people think getting on the ballot is a simple thing. It's really not, especially in a place like New York.
Yeah, no, it was a huge challenge. So I began campaigning in October of last year, and that was after Zoran had won his primary,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, wow, like we have Zoran, we have AOC. There's so many others on the left that are doing well too, but these people are showing that like a working class person can get out there and
Yep.
they can make a difference. So that's like, well, I got to start doing something. I saw that the DSA was around and they had a lot of power and a lot of strength, and so there was that backing, and so I was like, wow, I got to really start to get this show on the road. And I started looking around for like who is in power right now. Like even city council. Like who's your city
Yeah.
council? Who are the people that are making decisions right now that you have no idea about? And the very first person that came to mind in Congress was Dan Goldman in New York 10. And he's like a pretty bad guy. He's heir to a fortune, and so I decided to launch a campaign in New York 10, which I did originally,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to like be running in a high profile race.
Yeah, I get that.
um,
And that's a really good strategy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so. I mean, Dan Goldman, he has a ton of money. He's backed by some of the worst people in power.
And even if you don't win in a district like that, you have an opportunity to bring so much attention and awareness to it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and I love when I see people running against incumbents like that have a lot of money being thrown their way, very deep pocketed donors, and they're it's an opportunity at the very least
yeah.
to say, well, what is this guy really doing for the district? And also, he's so compromised. He's not here for you.
Right. And I work in New York 10. So, that's a big part of my life is work. And you can see how the regulations are not helping us.
Right.
My workplace is not unionized. And, there's just a lot of misery over there in 10. There's a lot of rich
Mm-hmm.
people and there's a lot of inequality. So, but then like I received a lot of feedback on this, and there were DSA candidates that were hopeful to run as well. It was becoming a very crowded race, so I decided to switch over to where I live,
Okay.
which is New York 9. So I switched over to New York 9, and I found out that Yvette Clark, even though she's on the Progressive Caucus and she's chair of the Black Caucus, she's taking money from APAC as well. And so it's
Is
like,
that
right.
the that's so heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so disappointing.
And it should be disqualifying. I
It really
mean,
should. How are you in the progressive caucus
yeah,
taking APAC money? Like, it just doesn't
yeah,
make sense to me.
insanity. So yeah, so I started the petition, learning about the petition process around the turn of the year, and I just I looked in like the signatures that you had to get, and I started trying to get endorsements, and I couldn't really pin down any endorsements. But what I did was I had a wonderful campaign manager who has now left the campaign, but she was really great, and she made my petition sheets for me. And we had a whole bunch of tricks. Like these petition sheets only had five on them, so
Uh-huh.
that like any lawyer that was going to go through and do a challenge would have to like read through double the signature pages because most people put
Oh,
10. Um,
okay.
and like
Clever.
just
Love
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Love it.
So
Smart.
just like little things like that, and that set me up for success. And then basically my strategy was to go out to the subway stations. I first started knocking on doors and it didn't work. It was way too slow.
Mhm.
And I started going to the subway stations every day. And I even have an Instagram of that, which went semi-viral. That showed me like asking people in real time if they're a Democrat, like just asking
Oh,
every
I
single
saw
person.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw that. That was
uh,
great.
yeah. So like that kind of was done in like a sing-songy, like fakey way, but
Mm-hmm.
there you saw there were people walking around in the background, and that was like just how it was.
Yeah.
And the weather was so cold. I was wearing my double jackets that I had gotten from that story I just told you guys. And I was, there were also random 70-degree days when it was extremely hot. Um,
Right.
and so, like, I would just go out there and it was very, very hard. But I would just say, can I get one? And then I would say, do I want to be warm or do I want to fight for working class people? Because this is what it
Mhm.
takes.
It
Yeah.
is a
Um,
sacrifice. You know, I say that all the time, Josh. I don't think people realize when you're truly uncompromised, when you're running as a progressive or a democratic socialist and you don't have big money funding, um, your body and your time is your currency.
yeah,
And it just requires so much sacrifice. I'm always so inspired and in awe of candidates out there pounding the pavement, trying to get those signatures to get on the ballot. It's a lot of work.
yeah.
So hats off to you for
Thank you.
that.
Yeah, so I used AI tools actually because they had. I mean, I'm not really anti AI. But of course, there's issues. We can talk about the issues, and we have to
Yep.
make sure that they're heavily
There's
regulated.
uses. There's good
Yep.
uses though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the AI keeping a tally of the signatures that I was getting, and then they
Okay.
would tell me my daily totals of how much I had to get in order. You know, I'd say, okay, I got 50 today. It wasn't that good of a day. I was too cold. I had to come home, and I knew I was supposed to get 70, but I got 50. And then they're like, okay, well, to make it to 1,250 by the end of the thing, now your total has jumped up. So now you have to get 71 every day. And
Hmm.
you,
Brilliant.
you would just get buried. And they're like,
Yeah.
now it's 80 every day. So, oh God. But then, like, by the end of it, I was getting 100 a day.
That's
And
fantastic.
yeah, and I had volunteers too. 3 or 4 volunteers towards the end jumped on and were aiding me. And I met a lot of people during this time.
Yeah. That's
Um,
probably the best part, honestly.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
getting into touch with your community, that's
Hmm.
second to none. And I was like, wow, so this is like, I mean, I should be doing this every day anyways.
Right. Right.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a really
So
cool way to look at it.
yeah,
So I like checks and balances. Trump, not so much. Progressives, very much so. And we've kind of lost our checks and balances in this moment with Trump because he's just like force it through. Congress doesn't matter. Republicans in Congress are like, yeah, we don't matter. Just roll over us.
yeah,
But in your website, you actually have a subject line that says putting the checks and balances back in checks and balances. So I was like, okay, I like that. I like that. But it said policy coming soon. So I don't want to, if you have a big surprise, if you, I don't want to make you reveal it, but I wonder if you would give us a little preview of just what you mean by that.
Well, yeah. I mean, the checks and balances, the whole thing needs to be redone. I mean, I don't know if it's like a constitutional crisis or what, but Trump is like actually in some ways done us a favor by revealing the weaknesses of the system, and we have to like patch every single one of those up. So, I mean, the biggest elephant in the room for me is the Supreme Court. We had Louisiana versus Calais. I mean, that just like that alone, the Voting Rights Act.
Embarrassing.
There's there's the women's issues,
Reproductive rights. Yeah, I
reproductive
mean,
health.
they're so stacked up. I mean, they are so backed up in those courts because of all of the what I would call rescission of rights that has been happening since this guy got into office a second time.
So I mean that goes back to the Obama administration. We lost a justice there who that wasn't even a very liberal justice that was being propositioned. He went on to become the prosecutor at the Department of Justice, and he didn't really do any prosecuting.
Merrick Garland was one of the most ineffective
what a
AGs of
disappointment
all time.
Yeah,
all time.
Yeah,
and you thought maybe he would have a little, motivation since the Republicans, effectively took away the Supreme Court spot.
Yeah,
I mean that's your dream if you're somebody like Merrick Garland. But yet he was a paper tiger while in office.
Yeah. So we lost that seat, and then like RGB retired, and we lost like a whole bunch more seats. So we need to add more justices. We need to I mean, whatever it is that we do, we have to like do a complete change with how the Supreme Court works. And I think that the Supreme Court should probably have more power too. Some way to enforce their rulings would be good because
that would be good.
Right now, they can pronounce whatever pronouncements they want, but the Trump administration just doesn't listen.
Yeah. It's the accountability that's missing, right? So many times I've been like, well, why haven't they come and put this person in the clink for, you know what I mean? Like ignoring a subpoena or blatantly perjuring yourself under oath. And there's just these days no accountability whatsoever.
Yeah. So we need to deal with that. And as far as like the executive needs to be weakened, the legislative, I mean, we need to like, I mean, this goes beyond probably what like one lower house member can do, but we need to adjust the balance of power with the Senate. Right now in the Senate, there's way too much power going to empty land.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. This, right? Because it's like Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Idaho. It's just empty land. No one lives there. Alaska, nobody lives there.
Hey,
but they get 2 senator seats like everybody else.
And there was a ruling today, I mean, kind of related, but not really, in Delaware. They ruled that a corporation can vote, literally vote. So in Fenwick Beach in Delaware, teeny tiny little community, this suit has been, I think, going on for a while. And they finally ruled that, well, there's nothing in the Delaware Constitution that says a corporation can't vote. So if you have an LLC and you have property connected to that business in that particular area, that corporation now gets to vote, which is that can open up a whole. I mean, it's Delaware. It's a teeny tiny thing, but let me tell you something. Wait till other people hear about this. and we're
Yeah.
going to be seeing this spread
Oh
like
my
wildfire.
God.
Yeah. I mean, that speaks to Citizens United.
Yep.
You know, if speech is permissible, then you could argue that voting is a type of speech or something.
Hmm.
Um, we have to tackle that as well, that ruling, but it's not as easy as just like, you know, you can't do it just in the lower house. It has to be
Yeah.
like a big thing to get that through.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, we can continue to do it state by state, like Hawaii's just done with banning Citizens United at the state level.
Mhm.
Um, this is an America problem, uniquely
Yeah,
American. No other
yeah.
countries let money into their politics like this. We've got to get it out. So, Josh, I'm going to let Seth have the final word today, but before we get to that, talk to me about what you need right now. So, you're on the ballot. When is your primary?
The primary is June 23rd.
June. Oh, that's coming up. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
How many Democrats are on the ballot in your district?
there's only three people in the race. It's a three-person
Okay.
race.
Okay.
This is such a winnable race.
Wow. Three people total. Okay. Okay. Um, so what are you looking for? Volunteers? Obviously, small dollar donations is helpful for every campaign, but if we could give you a call to action right now, what do you need to get you to win that primary in
Yeah,
June? In
my
June.
my goal is to like knock on these doors.
Yeah.
Because even though Yvette Clarke has been in power for 18 years, she is still strong, and there is a lot of there's a large Caribbean American community here. We need to knock on all of their doors and let them
Hmm.
Mhm.
know that I'm also Caribbean American.
Yeah,
um,
right.
so there is another option. There's another way. And yeah, we just need to get that message out because this election should not be a difficult choice. There's
Hmm.
really only one left wing option on the ballot, and it's me. So we just need to, you know, if you're left leaning, if you're, I mean, even if you're a centrist, come on over.
Yeah.
We need everyone. Sign up on my website, joshuabristol.com, as a volunteer and put your phone number in there, and then you will get a call from me.
I love
and
that. You're calling everyone personally. That's so awesome, Josh. That
That's
goes
cool.
a long way.
yeah, so you know, we just need people to knock on these doors. I'm doing everything like a cheap or free options. So I
Hmm.
have like Google My Maps set up of all the turf that I've knocked on personally, which grows day by day because I'm canvassing every day.
Okay.
And I have like a strong base of support, I think, in like Crown Heights because it's where I live and it's where I've spent the most time and also
Hmm.
where I got all my signatures.
Okay.
And so like but like Flatbush, you know, there's even large Jewish neighborhoods close by. I think that
Hmm.
I could get some support there too. And you know, if we just tackle the people that these doors that are around us here, we have a real chance.
Yeah.
And like money is great, and if you can donate, please do. But one of the great things about my candidacy is that it's a low dollar campaign. So you know, I understand that the economy is toast right now, and if you
Hmm.
have money for your family, please keep it. But if you have any capacity whatsoever to like knock on a few doors, New York 9 is far away from a lot of the big races that are happening, like New York 7 or the other DSA backed candidates,
Yep.
where they're at. So like this neighborhood is ripe for energy.
Love it. And
Yeah.
let's not forget Zoran, the way that he campaigned was so grassroots, so unusual. I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned and duplicated or expanded upon. And there was just so much energy, and I want to see that energy pouring into your campaign, Josh, too. So
Yeah,
we'll put that
yeah.
call to action out there.
Yeah, I think
All the
Zohan
left
has
wing
showed
people, come
everybody they
on.
can be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Zoran's shown everybody like, look, we don't have to do this the regular way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like he is getting results, and he
Yes.
is not making it harder on any working class people, any lower income people. He's getting it done. And I think he's exposing this whole system that we've been in, where we've been taught to accept these people who are on the take.
He's
Like,
the
oh,
real
this
Doge,
is
Seth.
like this is all this.
He's the legit Doge.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's the real check. Like he's
Yeah.
the guy that's going to come through, and I think this is time for progressives like us, for candidates like you. And so what we like to do here on the show is we have a little scale, and we have Chuck Schumer on one end, and we have Bernie Sanders on the other. And you being a delegate of Bernie's, that's kind of where a lot of your inspiration came from. So what we like to ask everybody who comes on the show is, obviously, you're a candidate that is a grassroots candidate. You're not taking any money from corporations, from super PACs, from any foreign entities, and stuff like that. And so we just want to confirm that with you, right?
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to
Love
slide
it.
you all the way to the Bernie side, which is the side that we love.
Hmm.
And I just want to, with all the momentum behind Zoran, and more importantly, the results that he's getting. There's a lot of talk. A lot of people like to talkity talk, but he's getting it done. And the Knicks are in the finals. I mean, if that's not something,
It's kismet.
if that's not some crazy weird
Mhm.
karma, then nothing is. So I guess like the last word is yours. Like talk to the people and just let them know like this new kind of leadership, this new era of leadership can take us into a future that we couldn't even possibly imagine 10, 20 years
Yeah.
ago.
We are the people. Ours is the power. Now is the time. That's my my slogan.
Mhm.
And this we are entering a new era for America. So a new dawn, a new horizon is blooming, and it's ours. So if you want 4-day work week, that's my biggest thing that I'm fighting for. We're gonna tax the rich. We're going to get Medicare for all. We're going to get the Green New Deal. There's so much. We're going to pass the PRO Act for your unions. We're going to unionize everything.
Yeah.
And we're going to make it so that these corporations, they'll be begging to unionize because it's going to be so costly for them to not be unionized. And,
Oh yeah.
we're all the policies, whatever. If you have a pet policy, sign up to volunteer at my website and tell me all about it. And
Love
we'll
it.
talk. So I'm here to be an agent of change and to bring power to the workers.
And who could ask for more than that?
Yeah.
Honestly.
We love it.
If you're not
That's it.
supporting Josh, if you're in New York 9 and you're not voting for Josh, boo. I guess you don't really care about your future because these are all the policies we need. These
Yeah.
are the policies Americans really want. Even if they say they're against social programs, they're saying that from a position of privilege, and they are one catastrophe away from changing their mind on that forever. So these are real policies for real everyday working Americans. And Josh Bristol, this has been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me on, you guys.
Absolutely. We wish you all the luck. You're a friend of the show now. If you need anything as we get closer to your primary, come back on. Let us know
Mhm.
what you need. We'll put a call to action out. And yeah, we just want to see you win this district.
Thanks so much. I feel so good about the future of this country. And I can't wait to serve the country in the House of Representatives.
Love it. Love the
Awesome.
optimism. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Well, Allie, talking with Josh Bristol from New York, running for the 9th district there in the state, and boy, I'm just so encouraged by the the enthusiasm he has, that
Yeah.
boyish optimism. The
Mhm.
kid's aging in reverse, basically.
I mean, what
So
did I just say? He hit the face lottery. I cannot believe he's in his 40s. He looks amazing. I, I mean, I think he has to like maybe identify that I am actually, I think he's a millennial. And most
yeah,
people are going to look at him and think he's a Gen Z.
yeah. Honestly, like I mean, people are going to be clamoring for his moisturizer. Anyway, but it was so much fun to talk with him. You know, from his background coming up, raised by a single mom. So he had tons of challenges growing up, but he continued to work hard. He got out there and helped people, even though he was somebody who needed help himself. Kind of grew up in that kind of era, and
Yeah.
I mean, look at what it's done for him. I mean, he's such a great guy. He's outgoing. He's charming. I mean, he's really getting out there and hitting the pavement. I love that little story that he had about his AI chatbot letting him know how many
Yes.
more people he needed to go out there. And I mean, really sensitive to the cold, living in New York. You're out there getting names and putting names on petitions and stuff like that, and having to come in because you're too cold, and then
New
going
York
back out
cold is
there and
cold,
doubling it
y'all.
up. I
New
mean,
York cold is cold. It's not quite
yeah,
Chicago cold.
yeah,
But let me tell you, walking through the city in the wintertime in New York City is no joke. It is
yeah.
no joke.
And so New York, if that's the kind of effort he's gonna put towards getting names on a list, think about what he's gonna do for you. I mean, this is a guy just right in the same vein as Zoran Mamdani. He's gonna go to work for you. And I mean, if you've watched our interview, I mean, you got to be a fan. Even if you're an ice cold Republican, you got to be a fan of a guy like that, or else you got no soul. So
You really
really
don't.
enjoyed it.
I mean, I loved his story about the mutual aid story where he went to
Yeah.
help people in his community and they ended up helping him. And I mean, that's what progressivism or democratic socialism, whatever label you want to throw at it. And I know they like to attack these labels and make them into something scary, but at the core of it, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's really looking out for your fellow Americans in real ways that make real impact, except through policy when you get to actually be in the government. So take that story and think about the possibility if we lived in a country where we had policies that truly, genuinely looked out for working class Americans, people that are paying their taxes, and we don't know where they're going except to slush funds and I don't know, everywhere but us at this point.
Yeah.
And that story is going to stick with me. He is resourceful and passionate. He studied philosophy. We didn't even get into, there's so much we didn't get into just for time. He'll definitely have to come back because he's just got a big, beautiful story, and I'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, he's an inspiring kid. And I
Yeah.
say kid, he's a little bit older than me, but
Exactly.
I mean, I can't tell. I
I
can't
know.
tell.
It's
So,
crazy.
Yeah, and so
So
real
if you're
pleasure to talk
anywhere
to him.
around the 9th district, vote for Josh.
Yeah.
Join his campaign.
Volunteer.
Help
He needs people to
volunteer.
yeah, knock on doors.
Donate $5, $1, and you don't have to live in New York to support people like Josh. So call to action. You could phone bank. You could donate a couple of dollars. Go to his social media page. Share his videos with the people that you're connected with. That's how grassroots campaigns work effectively. So
He's only running against 2 people. It's a very winnable race, y'all.
It really is.
Couple
really
hundred
is.
votes could win the race, literally.
Yep. So, okay, fantastic interview, Josh Bristol. We have more interviews lined up this week. Busy.
Right.
And we're gonna sign off for now, get some rest, and be back at it tomorrow.
Right. See you.
All right, Seth. Bye.